Good morning, Fountain families. Welcome to our Title I Reopening Town Hall meeting, where we will share our Fountain Elementary School reopening plans with you. And as always, if you are used to coming to any of our parent meetings, we always like to start with our FES family check-in. So at this time, I'm going to introduce my illustrious assistant principal, Dr. Nicole Hinton, who will lead us in our check-in for this morning.
Good morning, Fountain family, and welcome. Thank you for taking time out this morning to join us for our reopening presentation. I want you to grab hold and use the chat box. In the chat box, we just want to let you express how are you feeling about returning to school face to face. Are you one? What? I'm not ready yet. Two, it is what it is. Or three, I'm not sure, just sad. Or four, I'm so excited and I just can't hide it. We want you to share your feelings because we all share ours and make sure that you recognize them so that we can support you. Let me see your answers, everyone in your chat box. How are you feeling about face to face? I see a 3. I'm just not ready yet and so sad. I see a 4. So excited and can't hide it. Okay, Miss Crocker, can't wait. And I see it also a number 4, Delmas. A 1, what? I'm not ready. Just hold on, iPhone. We'll get you there. This meeting will support you. And that was Miss Shay who said that I'm not sure, just sad. It's okay. Miss Maria, so excited and just can't hide it. Okay, Miss Maria. Thank you all for your participation. Know that we have to acknowledge our feelings, and that way we can support and get through it. And we share some of the same feelings, but we are ready and protecting ourselves and ready to protect our scholars to have a fabulous reopening. Miss Marcelino said, I'm not sure. I'm sad. We're going to be all right. We're in this together, family. Thank you all for your participation.
Thank you, Dr. Hinton. And as a reminder to my illustrious team, all of you are co-hosts, if you would mind assisting me since I can't see the screen and letting our visitors in. Thank you. All right, we're going to go over some important things as it relates to transportation, arrival, safety protocols, classroom, parent visitor protocols. So the only thing that we ask of you today is that you allow us to get through the presentation. You will have time to ask any questions at the end. And if you want to put questions in the chat box, if you don't forget your question, please feel free to do so as well. We'll answer those at the end. So that we can ensure that we've answered all your questions, because what we found is sometimes we've answered some of those questions that you may have. So just please allow us to get to the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. And I'm excited to welcome our team. And here are some important dates that we want you all to keep in mind. This is also on our class dojo, on all of our social media platforms, and this will assist you in planning. So I would encourage you to print this out if you have the opportunity to do so, and keep that on your refrigerator or somewhere handy where you can get to it. And just a reminder, these are all the dates of when the teachers are returning, which they have returned this week, and when your scholars will be returning to the building. And so these, again, are in Class Dojo and on all social media platforms. And I believe even Ms. Ketos has emailed those out to the parents. Parenting, doing what's best, not what's easy. We know that parenting is not always easy. And I'm not really quite sure if it was really meant to be easy. But what I do know is that we all try to at least do our best. That's what we ask our students to do, and that's what we do. So we know that everyone's best is their own best. So my best may not be Mrs. Ketos' best, but you're doing what's best for your scholars. So at this time, I'm going to introduce our first magnificent staff member, our healthcare tech, Mrs. Nelms, and she's going to provide you with some updates regarding the protocol and procedures for the health clinic.
Good morning, everyone. So we know this is a stressful time right now, but we're going to make sure that all of our students and staff are kept safe and healthy here at Fountain Elementary. So the goal here is to make sure and implement all mitigation strategies to make sure we prevent any type of spread of illnesses or infection within our school. So for students that require non-related or unrelated COVID symptom first aid attention, they will report to the clinic as usual, but their teacher will need to make sure they come to the clinic with a clinic pass. And at all times, they need to be escorted by their teacher here to the clinic. For our students that require daily routine medications, these medications will be still administered at the student's scheduled time. But also we will need an IHP form to make sure we can administer these medications. So if you go to the Clayton County website under departments, you will click on the student services and then go to student health. There you can find all of the medical forms. You can print off a form specifically for your child's medical condition. So any condition that requires medication, prescription, or non-prescription meds, those are your over-the-counter medications. These medications will still need to have a health plan on file and also a prescription authorization from your provider. So you have to go to your child's pediatrician to get that form completed before we can administer those medications. And if your child has any specific health conditions such as asthma, diabetes, seizures, or any allergies that require epinephrine, those forms, it's a different form for those. They will have to complete a specific action plan for those type of conditions. Your pediatrician will have to do that. Also, when your student arrives here at the school, they will have their temperatures checked. They are required to wear masks at all times and practice social distancing. This goes for the students as well as the staffs. We will also implement frequent hand washing, and we will have hand sanitizer stations available throughout the school to make sure everyone is making sure their hands are clean. We want to make sure everybody wash their hands, but we will have the hand sanitizers when you can't get to a sink. So there are some steps we will follow if we have a child or a staff with any COVID symptoms. We will render the necessary medical attention or first aid based on the symptoms we see. And then the child or the staff will be placed in an isolation room. Once they're placed in this isolation room, we will contact the RN supervisors who will give us further instructions. If we have a child that comes to school with these symptoms, we will notify the parents to pick up the child immediately. So we're going to try and screen the children before they enter the building. If a child comes and they're screened at the car, we will ask the parents to take those kids back home. They can't return to school with any symptoms of a fever, runny nose, cough, diarrhea, vomiting, anything like that, or a rash. They cannot stay at school with any of those symptoms. So you will be notified immediately to retrieve those students, and they can't return unless they have a doctor's note. So I just mentioned that with any of those conditions, they will have to go through the CDC's or the public health criteria to return back to school. So they will have to be quarantined. If they are tested positive, they will be in isolation for a certain amount of days according to the CDC recommendations. And again, the doctor will have to give an order, a clearance, what we call a medical clearance, before they can return back. So if you have any questions, we'll again address those at the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nelms. At this time, we'll have another illustrious leader provide our arrival protocol, and they will introduce themselves and share with you our arrival protocol.
Good Good morning. My name is Angela Edwards, and I'm the Student Support Team Chair here at Fountain. And I'm going to give you our protocol for our arrival procedures here at Fountain. The first load drops off at 7 a.m., the bus load. The second bus load drops off at 7:30 a.m. Staff members will verify that students are arriving on A days, are arriving on their A day, and the B day students are arriving on their B days. So they're going to double check that. Student temperatures will be checked upon arrival before entering the building. Just like Nurse Nail said, they'll be checked at the car. Car riders will be checked before entering, before exiting the car, and parents will remain until the student is cleared. After temperature checks, bus riders, car riders, and walkers will report directly to their classrooms, and meals will be delivered in the hallway. DES students can be brought directly to their classroom regardless of when they arrive. And just a note, students will be supervised at all times, which will ensure a smooth beginning of the school day. So with the temperature checks, we have a role for our students, and we have a role and responsibilities for our staff. Staff responsibilities is teachers will be in their classrooms at 7:15 to receive students. Teachers will verify, of course, students should be here on A day are on their correct day, and the B day students are on their correct day. And we will make sure the students have their meals, their breakfast before they come down the hallway. And once they get into the classroom, we'll double check to make sure everyone has their breakfast. And breakfast will be eaten in the classrooms. Again, all students will be supervised at all times, and the students' responsibility is to, students will have their temperatures checked upon arrival. That's bus riders, that's car riders, walkers, all will get their temperature checked. Students will eat breakfast in the classroom. Bus riders, car riders, and walkers will report directly to their homerooms, and that's after they retrieve their breakfast at the end of the hallway. And again, DES students can be brought directly to their classrooms regardless of when they arrive to school.
Safety protocol. Hi, this is Dr. Hinton. I'm going to go over how we are going to maintain a healthy environment face-to-face with our staff as well as our students. All staff will use a QR code pocket size when they enter the building. This QR code gives them a survey of questions to make sure they are healthy to enter the environment. The tripod, which is a temperature scanner, will be used in sanitation stations upon entering. So their temperature will be scanned upon entering as well. We do have a single point of entry. All staff as well as our students enter in the front entry so that their temperature can be taken and sanitized. We have established processes for the students entering the building, and so they will be monitored. Ms. Nelms will be assigned to meet the needs of the district for pre-K through 5 and DES students. Upon yesterday, we have a COVID-19 response team. Our team is located at Fountain. Some of our members are on this meeting call, and we have been trained to make sure that we have all the preventive measures and next steps if we have to respond to an incident. Safety in the classroom. We will have orientations for our scholars with concerns to fire drills, tornado drills, as well as intruder drills, so that we are following all safety precautions as it pertains to social distancing. In addition, each classroom, your student will be assigned a seat. They will sit at that same location so that if there's an incident, we can have our team will be able to contact trace. They will make sure that the teachers secure a physical copy of the classroom seating chart if there's a substitute, so everyone will be seating at the same seat. Our desk and chairs are lined to face the front of the classroom, so it'll be at all times feasible so that students won't be sitting one behind the other. Staff and students have their own assigned resources. where feasible. We want our students to have individualized resources, so we won't do any community sharing of scissors, paper, or crayons of sorts. If, when feasible, if they're going to be shared, say for instance, an art class, they will be sanitized in between maybe 30 pairs of scissors. Staff and students will frequently wash their hands and sanitize their hands. You will hear that theme throughout this presentation. Frequently wash and sanitize your hand. High touch surface areas, for instance, the hallways, the restrooms, doorknobs, will be frequently disinfected regularly by our custodial staff as well as teachers. Teachers should use plexiglass for social distancing and small group instruction. We do have desk shields for every other desk, and we will use those for protection of both staff and students. Now we would like you to have the opportunity to enjoy a day in the life of CCPS students. This video was made with students and staff in different buildings all over Clayton County Public Schools. You'll take a peek in. Everything will not be exactly aligned to Fountain, but close enough. You'll take a peek. Enjoy.
Here at Clayton County Schools, we are so excited about welcoming your student back into our buildings. We have all taken great efforts to make sure that their learning experience is both safe and dynamic. Check out the protocols that we have put into place to make sure that our transition back into school is a smooth, safe, and successful process. While at the bus stop, all students are asked to wear masks and to stand 6 feet apart. Students should load the bus maintaining this 6 feet apart distance to ensure that their peers have the time and spacing needed to find their seats in a safe, secure manner. All students must wear a mask before entering the bus. If a student forgets their mask, don't worry. The transportation staff will provide a mask for them so that they may enter the bus in a safe manner. Students must wear their mask the entire ride and sit spaced out, at least 1 seat between them and their peers. Upon arriving to school, students will be dismissed from the bus, maintaining social distance spacing, and encouraged to follow the markers on their school's pathway. Our transportation staff will diligently clean and spray the bus with sanitizing solutions to make sure that highly touched surfaces are clean. Students arriving in our carpool lane will have their temperature checked by a staff member prior to exiting their vehicle. Once temperature check is deemed safe, the student will be allowed into the building. If for any unfortunate reason the temperature is higher than normal, parents will be asked to escort their students back home until their temperature is deemed safe to enter the building. Upon entering the building, all students are required to sanitize their hands and to have their temperature checked by a staff member. Once the student's temperature is verified as safe, they will be allowed to enter the building and report directly to their class. Teachers are also required to complete a daily COVID survey, sanitize their hands, and to have their temperature checked before entering the building to teach. Within the classrooms, desks have been spaced out to maintain 6 feet distance from each learner. Students are required to wear their masks the entire time that they're in class, and our teaching staff will maintain that same guideline. We know the power of small group learning opportunities and have created spaces separated by plexiglass to make sure that your child gets the individual, direct attention they need for their specific learning style and current learning level. In the hallways, students are encouraged to follow the markers on the floor that helps them maintain a 6 feet social distance. After each class, our teaching staff will be allotted time to sanitize desks and prepare for the next students to enter. Meals will also be served in a safe manner. Students will be allowed to clean their hands and to get their individually wrapped tray. Students will then take their lunches and report back to their classrooms to eat in a social distanced and safe manner. Students who are dining in their classroom will be asked not to remove their mask or the meal covering until they are seated back in their assigned desk. The Clayton County Schools Food Service Department is so proud of the work they have done to make sure that each student is receiving a meal daily that is nutritious and delicious. For schools that are opting to use their cafeteria, students will be allowed to take their individually wrapped meal and sit at a table with one additional peer to enjoy their dining experience. In both of these dining scenarios, students are required to wear their masks immediately after enjoying their meal and to dispose of their trash on their own. Our custodial staff is prepared to wipe down tables and chairs after these meals. We know the power and the importance of movement in your little one's day, so we have created a schedule that includes movement, exercise, and a little fun. For students that unfortunately begin to feel ill during the school day, certain protocols have been put in place. They'll be walked directly to our clinic. Our clinic staff will immediately ask them a series of questions and take their temperatures to identify if they have any COVID-related symptoms. If necessary, they will be transported to our isolation room, and their parents will be immediately called for pickup. Our isolation room staff has been trained to monitor the students until the parent arrives. All visitors entering the building, including parents, must wear a mask and will be greeted by our welcoming front office staff, who also will be behind a safe plexi and have on their mask as well. We look forward to bringing all students back into our buildings so that we can continue to provide them with an amazing, excellent educational experience. Thanks for all you do to help make this transition smooth, secure, and safe.
If you would like to review this video with your scholars at home before their arrival, it's a part of Clayton County Public Schools parent game plan, located also on our Fountain website, and it's called A Day in the Life. You can click on the link and then you can share the video with your scholars.
Good morning, Fountain family. I am April Tete, the Title I academic coach for Fountain Elementary School. And we will talk about classroom protocol. The instructional schedule is as follows. School begins each day at 7:45. Each student's day will begin with an SEL activity that will be conducted by the teacher. The students will also be afforded numerous breaks throughout the day, and you're familiar with this because of our virtual schedule. So students will have some downtime during the day. The lunch schedule will vary. There may be some adjustments made to the lunch schedules, but those schedules will be communicated by the teachers through Google Classroom to the parents. So please make sure you check your schedule pretty often. Any changes made to that schedule, again, will come through Google Classroom. Students will eat their lunch in their classroom, so that's a little bit different from how we do it for face-to-face, but that's how we will proceed for the remainder of the year. Lunch will be served in the classrooms. Specials classes will also be conducted virtually. However, when the opportunity presents itself, they will receive some face-to-face instruction when possible. The 1:30 end of the day, the school day for the students that are in K through 2, they will end their day at 1:30. However, they will not be dismissed until that 2 o'clock to 2:15 time. That 30 minutes pocket of time that's left over, when the virtual students have left their classrooms, the teachers will be able to work with the students that are face-to-face with them and or virtually if needed, for some tutorials or some small group instruction. So again, on our virtual schedule, K2 typically ends their day at 1:30, and then our 3 through 5 scholars, their day is ended at 2 o'clock. But again, no one will be dismissed if you're face-to-face here in the building at Fountain. You will not be dismissed until that 2 o'clock to 2:15 time frame. So K through 2 parents, don't come early, okay? And also, parents, you're able to get into Infinite Campus. And if your student is coming to Fountain, they're going to be face-to-face with us. They have been assigned an A-day schedule or a B-day schedule. Again, the information is located in Infinite Campus. If you have not had an opportunity to get into Infinite Campus, please reach out to Ms. Ketos, our parent liaison, and she will assist you, or Ms. King in the front office. They will be more than happy to assist you with getting into your Infinite Campus account. Again, all students have been assigned an A or B day schedule based on their home address. So your home address determines whether you come on an A day, which would be Monday and Wednesday, or your scholar comes on a B day, which would be a Tuesday or Thursday. Again, check Infinite Campus. And if you cannot get into Infinite Campus, please reach out to the parent liaison or Ms. King in the front office. Daily, for those scholars that are coming face-to-face, even those that are at home, please make sure that your students have their material that they need for the day. One item, very, very important, if they're coming face-to-face, please make sure that they have their mask daily. However, if they forget and they're getting on the bus or they arrive at school without a mask, we will provide one. But again, just please help us with that. Make sure that they have their mask. Make sure they also have their earbuds, because we'll talk about the simultaneous teaching that's going to occur, and it will be just more beneficial if students have their earbuds, even here face-to-face at Fountain. Also, students that are in grades 3 through 5 will bring their Chromebooks back and forth between home and school. So please make sure that they charge those devices each night and bring that device charged and ready for learning the very next day. Again, Chromebook cases are coming back and forth between those students that are in grades 3 through 5. Also, that Chromebook charger has been listed as a supply to bring. However, we only want you to bring that in emergency situations. For instance, if that scholar did not get an opportunity to charge the night before. Ms. Lexi will discuss with you later about the charger. It's very expensive and we do not want to lose them and we don't want to be held accountable for them. So if you will just leave those chargers at home and just bring that charged laptop each day for students in grades students in grades 3 through 5. Students in grades kindergarten to 2nd grade will be utilizing the devices that have been supplied by Fountain Elementary and Clayton County Public Schools. So students in grades kindergarten through 2nd grade will not have to bring their devices each day. Again, paper and pencil will be needed for those scholars that are coming face-to-face, even virtually. They need to make sure they have those supplies ready for instruction. And students will be allowed to carry their book bags daily to school. And then again, that final note is those students that are in grades K through 2, they will not need to bring back and forth their laptops or Chromebooks. The hybrid instructional model for the A day and the B day. Students in grades pre-K through 5th grade will participate in this model during weeks 1 and 2, and weeks 1 and 2 occur April 12th through the 22nd. A blended simultaneous learning provides students with an opportunity to engage in technology-supported learning and in-person learning due to purposeful alignment between the two delivery models. Again, students will be logged in and receive a new lesson each day. So as you see on this schedule, the A-Day students are here with us Monday and Wednesday, and B-Day scheduled students are here on Tuesday and Thursday. However, for Monday, A-Day is face-to-face, and B-Day students will be plugged into their teacher and connected virtually along with those extended virtual learning students. So again, that's our model that we will utilize for 2 weeks. Students will continue to receive instruction Monday through Thursday, and Friday will be that asynchronous learning. Again, for 2 weeks, we will work this model here. And then for face-to-face instruction, students will participate in the model beginning the 3rd week, which will occur April 26th through the 25th, and that's through the end of school. So our previously A and B day students will become our face-to-face learners every day, Monday through Friday. So that Friday asynchronous day, it leaves on that 3rd week. And again, students will receive instruction, whether they are the face-to-face learner or they are the remote or virtual learner. They will receive that instruction every day. Virtual learning full-time. And again, this is being offered beginning April 12th. Again, the virtual learners, and we refer to it as the extended virtual learners or the remote learners, they will participate in the regular school day activities, again, combined with synchronous and asynchronous activities each day, Monday through Friday. And now what you have before you is a visual of what the classroom will look like going forward when we receive our scholars after spring break. You will see that the teacher is sitting behind her laptop and she has her document camera. She has her laptop. She is able to see her virtual learners, her remote learners, and she is able to see those that are there face-to-face with her. If you look at the students each that came to school, they had their laptop, they have their headphones, they have their mask as well, and all of their materials are located in their identified space. And as always, the students have been social distance. So again, we will continue the model that we have been providing. Previously, we were doing just the remote learning, the virtual learning. However, going forward, we will provide that as well, in addition to students that are actually in the classroom with the teacher. And that's our simultaneous model. Now we will go into transitions and the restroom protocol. Keep in mind, everyone in the building will do our best, our very, very best to maintain that 6 feet social distancing. Everyone wearing their masks, students staying 6 feet apart. Again, even in the classroom, everyone will be social distance. Transitions will be governed by the social distancing markers on the floor and wall. Students will only transition with a faculty or staff member. So again, coverage and supervision is being provided throughout the day. Students will not be able to leave their classrooms or go to any other portion of the building without adult supervision. The custodians also have a schedule that is being put in place so that they can get in to clean the restrooms and high traffic areas as often as possible and necessary. And now one of our staff members will do the dismissal protocol.
All right, I'm Miss Letsy. I'm the school media specialist. So I'll be telling you about dismissal. So pickup time is still 2:15 p.m. We do have a lot of car riders this year. The staff role, so teachers should have their Mimeo boards on, displaying the screen. They need to actively monitor the car rider names in buses that appear on the list, and one teacher from the grade levels will walk the bus riders to their destination. Their job is to ensure social distancing. Students have roles in this too. Students need to be packed up by 2:11 or no, 2:10. We don't want them to be carrying the book bag or dropping a computer or zipping up that computer thing as they're trying to walk down the hall. Students also have a job in it that they need to monitor the board looking for their name. And when they leave the classroom, they have to go where they're directed. They'll be escorted from their drop-off location.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? I'm Miss King, the secretary here at Fountain Elementary, and I will be going over visitors, arrival, tardies, and late check-in, and checkout. So, tardy students, parents must walk the students to the door, and you're gonna ring, it's a gray box on the wall to the right. You're gonna ring the bell, and you're gonna wait for me to come. I'm gonna come and bring you a QR code. You're gonna scan that code and complete the information. Ms. Nims will take the student's temperature, and they will get hand sanitizer, and they will proceed into the building to receive a tardy slip as well as their breakfast, and they will go to class. For early checkouts, and we ask that parents please wait with your students until they have been cleared. For early dismissal, parents you will come to the door with your ID. You will ring the bell. I will meet you at the door. I will verify that you can pick up the child. You will get another QR code. You will complete that information. I will come in, call the student up. The student will come to the office, and I will escort them to you at the door where you wait. And as it has been previously stated, if you do not have access to your Infinite Campus parent portal, please, please, please contact me and Ms. Ketos so that we can get you set up. And for right now, volunteers, because of everything going on with COVID, we will not have any volunteers face-to-face activities. Ms. Ketos offer a lot of parent resource trainings during the week. And she is, we do all of our through Zoom. So as of right now, no parent volunteers in the building.
At this time, we'll have Ms. Letzi go over our technology.
Hello again. So for laptop assignments, as we said earlier, 3 through 5 students will have their Chromebooks assigned to them individually. The student is responsible to bring it forth and back each day. Like we said, the chargers should not come back and forth. K2 students will have a computer cart that's assigned in the classroom, and the computers are assigned individually to students. The student should be getting the same computer each day. K2 students should keep their loaners at home for right now until we are told by the county to bring them back. As new students come to our school, they will be assigned the computer too. Now, like I said, grades 3 through 5, those students should charge their computers at night and bring the computer during the day. It is advised that you leave the chargers at home because chargers are $40 to replace. Additionally, we do not have that many plugs and sockets in the walls that we can charge them. But if you do have to send them with it, make sure you label that charger. If a student forgets their computer that day, they are welcome to use the desktops, which will be cleaned, and there's always the paper and pencil option. For computer repairs, you must inform your teacher first for them to put the ticket in to make an appointment. When the children are in school, they still have to tell their teacher so that they can make the ticket, and then we'll make the appointment with the teacher to get that computer issue addressed. As always, you can call either the school or my Google number, and I will gladly help fix problems and get you connected with an appointment.
Parents, again, we have testing protocol. It is that season. Some of our students were able to participate in online testing virtually and will continue to do so. But for Georgia Milestone grade testing for grades 3, 4, and 5, we will be testing face-to-face. Our dates, since Clayton County are pursuing face-to-face instruction, has shifted. Our beginning date for Georgia Milestones tests will begin on Monday, May the 3rd, and will end for 5th grade students on Monday, May the 10th. This window has shifted so that we can get more adjusted to our face-to-face learning, and we'll be right on track for these particular dates. We have also ensured that we have testing protocols. Transportation during Georgia Milestone testing will be similar to the same transportation for our face-to-face learning. If your student is participating in Georgia Milestone testing and they are doing at-home remote learning, they will come to school with their regular age peers if they're riding the bus on that particular day that they're testing. These students will need to remain at school the entire day to receive a bus ride home. So if you have a student doing at-home continuing virtual learning to the end of the school year, and you would like them to participate in the Georgia Milestone testing, they will ride the school bus their regular route, regular time based on their address. A parent letter will be sent home, and Fountain will host a virtual town hall meeting, Georgia Milestones. We'll have further updating information. We have set April 20th for our virtual town hall meeting on Georgia Milestone testing. So know that if you selected to be at-home virtual learning, your child can still participate in Georgia Milestone. And you may also opt for car riding in this situation, but the child will attend school the entire day on testing. Breakfast and lunch. Some of the information will be resubmitted, reshared. Breakfast and lunch will be delivered to the classrooms. Staff members will be able to assist the distribution and take order of the number of meals being counted. Students will also have hot and cold options. Tardy students will still receive breakfast when they check in. Curbside route endeavorly will continue for Clayton County Public School students. So if they're virtual, you can still come in. Delivery times are 9 and 11. If you're doing curbside, currently Fountain's curbside pickup is in our bus lane at the front of the building. It will be moved. I repeat, it will be moved. So if you're going curbside pickup, you will use the regular carpool lane in Fountain Elementary on the side parking lot. So we will still have both curbside pickup and bus delivery. There will be signage to direct you to the new location for curbside pickup. And I will do the honor of introducing our one and only Miss Ketos. She's on the other side doing our interpretation and translating for our parents, but she would like to let you know on behalf of Title I, our school compact family engagement plan, parent survey, building staff capacity, and on the side, she does a little counseling. Miss Ketos does it all. If you have a problem, she'll get you to the resource that you need. But important dates coming up for Miss Ketos include today, Wednesday, March 24th. If I'll be announced to announce, Ms. Leslie and Ms. Keto have free goodies to give to our scholars today through the bus lane from 2 to 4. They have free stuff. I say it again, free goodies for you to come by and pick up. Just drive on through. Tomorrow, March 25th, Thursday, Ms. Ketos will be hosting a How to Obtain Online Resources for My Child at 11 a.m. And on Friday, March 26th, School Compact and Family Engagement Planning at 10:30 a.m. The following Monday, this Monday, March 29th, coming up, 12 ways busy parents can help their children succeed. That'll be hosted at 1:30 p.m. And on Tuesday, March 30th, she will again review the School Compact and Family Engagement Plan at 2 times on March the 30th, 11:30 and 5:30. And on Wednesday, March 31st, she will repeat how to support your child doing virtual learning at 11 a.m. Miss Ketos School Compact Family Engagement Plan and Parent Survey Building Capacity. We want all your feedback on those surveys. Ms. Keto's workshops are all online. If you need a link or you're unsure of it, contact Ms. Ketos. These are virtual planning, and she looks forward to seeing you there. She has a plethora of information.
Thank you, Dr. Henson.
You're
and
welcome.
Parents, I know there was a question in the chat box regarding the video that we showed earlier. And yes, this is on our school website. If you go on from the computer, you can see it on the right-hand side. We have all of our returning to school reopening documents for our parents and in different languages. So please check out our website because we have placed not only this parent game plan, but other documents that will help you peruse and learn more about how we will be reopening at Fountain and in Clayton County Public Schools. And this is what the top of the game plan looks like. And for those who are looking for that video, you'll see it here. It'll say, click here. That's where you can find the video. We also have provided the video and remind our teachers that they have access to the video as well. And they will be allowed to show that video next week. Sometime next week with our scholars, and so that they can see it as well. And so again, if you would like to go over that with your child, which I would highly encourage, especially the areas so they will be familiar with what to expect when they enter the building. Many of them have not been in the building since last March. And some of them have never been in the Fountain Elementary School building ever. And so it'd be really nice for them to see what the expectations are. And please stay connected to Class Dojo. If you are on Dojo, you see me putting a lot of different videos, even this morning, reminding our scholars to sign in this morning in the school. And so between now and spring break, I'll be placing little different videos as I'm walking the hallways, going into the classrooms. And so please show your scholars those videos so they can see, especially those who are new to our Fountain family, so that you can see and they can see the hallway, the different classrooms, the gymnasium, the cafeteria. So those different areas, just be mindful that they're not fully set up because we're waiting on our scholars, but they will be ready for your scholars when they come into the building on April 12th. And I cannot enforce or reinforce how important it is for you to please make sure you sign into Infinite Campus. And we keep stressing that because we know that, especially if you've been here for a while, your numbers or addresses may have changed and you might have forgotten to update it in Infinite Campus. It doesn't happen automatically just because you fill out forms every year. So please go and make sure that you have accurate information, because in the event that your child does become ill for any reason, we want to make sure that we have accurate numbers and contact information. Maybe you no longer have that emergency contact person. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe you've changed your address. Maybe you've changed your number. So again, please make sure that you are checking Infinite Campus. Also, again, that's where you find out if your child will be coming on A days, Monday and Wednesdays, or B days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. Again, if your child arrives on a day that is not their designated day, you will have to come and pick your child up. So we want to avoid that because the bus will not be able to transport any students back in. Also, if you have a kindergartner and a first grade student who will be returning to the building and you want them to get off the bus without an adult, you still have to complete that form. So we'll be sending those home or creating a form actually for you to complete, indicating that you will allow your child to get off the bus. So remember, K and first grade parents, your scholars will not be allowed off the bus unless there's an adult there. So they can't get off with their sibling. You have to get a notarized form indicating that you give permission for your child to walk off the bus into home without an adult being present. So we want to make sure that you really understand that. We have the remainder of this week, we have all of next week, and we have our week of spring break. So you have a good 2.5 weeks left where you can go through all of these documents. Again, it's in multiple languages so that you are able to access this information on your own. But of course, the first line of getting questions answered would be certainly to reach out to your child's teacher. And if they don't know the answer, they know who to come to. And someone in the front office on our school, on our My Team will definitely reach out to you. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them because we want to make sure that you have everything that you need. Okay? That is all for us. I'm going to stop sharing at this time. If there are any questions that you may have, please type them in the chat box. Please type them in the chat box and we'll answer any of your questions.